So in this video I'm going to show you how I edit my bird photos, taking them from RAW, turning them to JPEG, and once we've gone through the camera RAW filter, we're going to use the Unsharp Mask and we're going to be exporting it into a JPEG. It's going to be very exciting. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe for more, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is open our RAW photo. I've got two here. You'll find out why, because once we've done the editing in the raw filter, we're going to save it and apply it to a different photo. So it's quite simple, quite quick and easy. Okay, so this is your camera raw filter if you want to call it. We'll just zoom in so we can see what we're actually working with. Let me just zoom out. So this was taken with my 200 to 500 mil. So it was pretty far away, but it wasn't too far, else it gets quite noisy, which I've noticed. Okay, so I'm just zooming in here. We want to play with a few of the sliders here. So we'll increase this exposure just a little bit. And the shadows, just to bring out the color a bit more. And the blacks. And we can just nudge up the exposure just that little bit more, just to make it a bit more brighter. So you can see I'm zoomed in at 100%. Okay, so you can see it's quite noisy still at 100%. So over here, you want to go to the detail, the two triangles next to each other. And you can see the sharpening. For some reason, my raw photos is probably a setting in my camera. It always sharpens it to 40. I always take that down to 0. And it removes a slight bit of the noise, not much. So I go down here to the luminance, and I normally change it. I know my value is 30 roughly, but it depends on the photo really. Okay, so once that's done, if you're happy with it, let's just zoom out, Control and minus. Yeah, that looks bright enough. So once you've got all your settings here, whatever you change, whatever tab it's in, everything, once you're happy with it, so let's say you're taking the same photo of a certain thing all the time. It saves you going through this all the time, like what we've just done, just adjusting it slightly. Actually, I might bring these shadows up just a touch more. There we go. Okay, so once you've done that, once you're happy with it, go over here to the menu, and you want to save the settings. And here you can choose what you're going to save through all the settings that have been changed and everything. So I'm just leaving it as it is, and I'm going to click save. And you can see I've already got one here called birds. This one I'm going to call birds in flight, and hit enter. So that's all saved now. So what you want to do, you want to open your image. There we go. So as you can see, it's still quite small there. So I'm going to crop it. Here's a cropping tool for me, just over there. I'm keeping the original ratio just so I can keep it in that aspect. And just click in there. Pushing enter when you're happy. Control and 0 to zoom in fully. I might go in a bit more. Control and plus. So you can see here it's still a little bit hazy. So I'm going to go to filter, sharpen, Unsharp Mask. And there, so that's a before. And that's it after. It makes a lot of difference. Play around with the numbers. Each photo might be different depending if you're photographing different things, but in this case it's 160. The radius is 2 and the threshold is 4. So again, before and after. Okay, so that's it. And now what I normally do is I change the image size to 2800 pixels wide. I'll leave it that way, and perfect. Okay, so to export, I'm showing you how to export. File, export, save for web. Brings up the box here. I have mine as JPEG, maximum and quality 100, and then I just save it to wherever I want it saved. I'm not going to save it because I've already got one done. But now I want to show you what we saved in the last last part. No, I don't want to save that. So you can see we've edited that because you've got the XMP file. So when you open that, it will open the raw filter and have all the settings there for you. So with this one, which we haven't edited yet, I'm just going to zoom in so you can see. Okay, so we say all the settings are back to 0 over here, and we want to add on, because it's pretty much the same as we did last time, bird in the sky, the background, dark shadows over here. So we're going to go to the menu button, load settings, and the ones we did was birds in flight. So I'm just going to double click it. And there we go. So once you've done that, you can fine tweak it a bit, you can bring the exposure down, but as you can see, it's brought in all the settings from the last one. And if you want, you can push up the saturation, maybe the vibrance a little bit. Yeah, so that looks pretty cool. So we'll just open that up and then crop it. And the last bit I did with the Unsharp Mask, I'll show you now. I do have an action set for that. So Unsharp and resize, because I've done an action, saved an action, so it just does it automatically for me. If you want a tutorial on this, please let me know in the comments. And I'll just push play. And there we go. So it's resized it. It's added the Unsharp Mask, which you can see. It's a lot clearer over here. So as you can see, it's very simple to do. There are a few steps, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. And as you can see, we took a photo of a faraway kite, brought it forward, cropping it in, brightening up the colors, bringing up the shadows, and yeah, it made it 100 times better. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Bye.